There are a variety of reasons why you might not be happy with your bank. Maybe you're not satisfied with the limit on daily withdrawals. Maybe you don't like the interface of the bank's app. You don't find it user-friendly. Maybe you called the toll-free number and you can't understand the person who's speaking because they've outsourced their employment to places like India or the Philippines. There are a lot of reasons why you might not be happy with your bank. But have you ever had your bank steal money from you and steal money from you on a monthly basis? Well, I have. My name is Howie. This is Positively Portugal. Let's get into it. I'm going to start this off by firing shots immediately. Novobanco is not a real bank. Novobanco is a criminal entity that steals from their clients. They steal from their account holders. In order for me to properly tell this story, like any properly told story, we're going to start from the beginning. When you make the decision to move to Portugal, the first two steps in the process are your NIF and getting a Portuguese bank account. You get the NIF first. That allows you to get a Portuguese bank account. The problem here is most Portuguese banks now are not giving accounts to those who are not Portuguese citizens or permanent residents. For somebody like me who is just a visa holder, and when I started this process, obviously I was not yet a visa holder, I was just a NIF holder, your options are few and far between. And Novobanco is the most common option. And I found out from many sources involved in the process, not just sources that I've used, that Novobanco is also the easiest option to work with, which to me is just mind-blowing because I can't even imagine a bank that is harder to deal with than Novobanco. So ultimately, I got the Portuguese bank account. I got a Novobanco account. And it took a while. It was not easy because nothing with Novobanco is easy, despite the fact that allegedly it's easier than other banks. And what I agreed to was their service fee, which was €7.50 a month. Obviously, I didn't like that. But a lot of American banks do have service fees. It's something I've heard of. It's not out of the ordinary. I'm fortunate enough that my American bank, Chase, does not charge me a monthly service fee. So I got it. It's like, whatever. Everybody is going to have their hand in my pocket or try to have their hands in my pocket. Okay, I played along. So then the problems with Novobanco begin. I get a piece of mail from Novobanco, and my address was incorrect. This is when I was living in Florida. The address is not correct. It was the same apartment complex, but a different building. In total, the apartment complex I was living in had 500 apartments. Now, this managed to work its way back to me, but I have no idea how many pieces of mail that Novobanco sent did not make it to me. So this bank is just sending my information to random people, or I guess it was one person, because every time I received mail from them, it was the same incorrect address. But God only knows who's getting it, who's looking at my personal information, my private information, my financial information. So I figure, okay, this shouldn't be the biggest issue in the world. I'll get in touch with somebody, change my address. We'll put a stop to this. So I contact the the company that helped me move here. I'm not going to say their name in this video because I don't want you to think that they're in any way, shape, or form responsible for the problem that I'm having. They're not. Novobanco is 100% responsible for this, but I'm not going to give this company's name just because I don't want them being lumped in with Novobanco on this. So they try to help me get this problem taken care of. Well, we find out that you can only change your address if you do it online. Okay, sure, makes sense. So I try to log in. I try to create a login, and I can't. I then find out that you cannot log in to your Novobanco account, your new Novobanco account, until you're residing in Portugal. What? This is my money. Mine. It doesn't matter if I am in Timbuktu. How dare you not let me log into my own account and see my own finances? So, as a result, I cannot change my address. And until I reach the point where I'm ready to move to Portugal, whoever, God knows who, is going to get my personal information, my private information, my financial information. It's something that can't be stopped. But then we finally get a higher up at Novobanco, and I'm told to just send him an email to say that you want to stop all mail. Okay, I did that. And I stopped all mail. So, I'm not getting any correspondence from Novobanco other than some emails, like 1 or 2 a month, most of which tell me that, hey, take a look at your account, check out your balance, this, that. Well, okay, I can't, because I'm not in Portugal yet, and Novobanco won't let me look at my own damn finances. I play along. I knew right from the beginning that Novobanco was going to be a huge problem for me. Now, this went on for 13 months. I finally get to Portugal, and I see what my balance is. For 13 months, Novobanco was taking 15 euros, 15 euros out of my account every month. Well, I did not agree to that. I never would have agreed to that. What I agreed to was 7.5 euros a month. Now, 13 times 7.5, which was what I was being overcharged, comes out to 97.5 euros. This is what Novobanco so far has stolen from me. Okay, so I want to get this straightened out. I go to the bank. Well, the branch cannot help me. They give me the contact who I need to send an email to, and it's the same person who I emailed previously to say stop my mail. Well, I did that a week ago. Do you think I've heard back from Novobanco? I sent an email to them saying, I never agreed to this, and I want reimbursement. I want 97.5 euros put back into my account. So a whole week has passed. No response. Okay, so now I need a debit card. Well, I haven't gotten any mail at this new place yet, this new apartment. And what concerns me is nobody has gotten mail in the 13 days that I've lived here. The letters that are there in this little box by the front door are the exact same ones that have been there for the past 13 days. Nobody is getting any new mail here. So I'm a little concerned about that. So I request, well, can you just have it sent to the branch and I'll pick it up? Well, yeah, they can do that at the cost of 30 euros. 30 euros for me to basically walk 2 blocks, because that's all the branch is from my apartment, 2 blocks, and pick up my own ATM card for an account that they have been stealing money from every month for the last 13 months. Now, I hear people tell me that, hey, this is, this is Portugal, this, that. No, that's a bunch of bullshit. This is not a Portuguese thing. This is a Novobanco thing. You know how I know that? Because if every bank in Portugal was stealing money from their account holders, from the entire Portuguese population, there would be a civil war. Do you think for 1 second, 100% of the population would just sit back and take being stolen from? No. This is not a Portuguese thing. It's a Novobanco thing. And I guess the final steps in this process here, I'm going to give it maybe a couple more business days. Let's say I'll give it until Tuesday. And then I'm just going to have to close my account. I don't know if there's going to be any other bank that will let me open an account. Maybe Millennium will. I'm pretty sure Activo won't, from what I read. And Activo is kind of like in business, in bed with Millennium. So now I'm not too sure if Millennium will let me open an account. I've been recommended Caixa Geral, and the company that helped me move here, one of their representatives recommended another one to me. I forgot the name of it at the moment. But now I'm at the point with Novobanco where, to be quite honest, I would rather not have a Portuguese bank account. Oh, another option I have is I can open up a Santander, which is based in Spain. I might do that because once things settle down for me here and my finances are in order and other things, I plan on taking frequent trips to Spain. So maybe that one is in my best interest. I don't know if they'll let me open up an account just by being a visa holder. So, yeah, I would rather not have a Portuguese bank account at this point and just use everything out of my American account, because I have a certain type of account where I'm not really getting the bulk of the conversion charge. So when you add up the additional 7.5 euros a month that Novobanco is stealing from me, it kind of just works out to being the same. I may as well just operate everything out of my American account, take money out of ATMs with that, and pay for things, and just pretend that Portuguese banks don't even exist, because I don't know who's able to help me and who isn't. But this is something that if you're moving to Portugal, you need to be aware of. Because in all likelihood, your first bank account is going to be through Novobanco. And once again, I'm here to tell you that Novobanco is not a real bank. Novobanco is a criminal operation. They steal from their account holders, and you should never do any business with Novobanco. I understand you might have to, just in the beginning, to get your visa. But once you get to Portugal, this is probably going to be the biggest challenge you'll face, as long as you are aware of everything else. As long as you've done your research on what Portuguese life is like, then this will be the hardest challenge you'll face. Because Novobanco is an entity that should not exist. And I can confidently say that Novobanco, under no circumstances, would exist in the United States. I can only speak for the United States. I don't know about, say, for example, Spain, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and really anywhere else that people are moving to Portugal from. Brazil, of course. But in my experience, Yeah, you know what would happen to executives at Novobanco if they operated in the United States? Their homes would be raided in the middle of the night, and they would be dragged into detention and not even given a court date. They would be considered a flight risk. They simply would not be let out. There's a lot of problems that the United States has. But for the most part, regulating banks really isn't one of them. And I know you might be watching it and say something like, well, my bank does this to me, my bank does that to me, and I don't like this, I don't like that. I'd rather it be this way, I'd rather it be that way. But at the end of the day, is your bank stealing from you? And I highly doubt the answer is yes. Unfortunately, for Novobanco account holders, for people who are visa holders in Portugal, yeah, Novobanco, this fake bank, this bank that is 100% full of shit, is stealing from you. They're criminals. They belong in prison. Every employee of Novobanco is complicit in this. Even the tellers, even the people who stand at the desk and greet people, they belong in prison. Novobanco, under no circumstances should they exist. And the Portuguese government needs to step in and stop Novobanco with immediate effect. So, this has probably been the most negative video that I have ever made. But it's one that had to get made. Imagine just being stolen from by your own bank. Anyways, if you want more videos about moving to Portugal, the process of getting there, Portuguese football, anything Portugal related, please hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment. Subscribing is the #1 way to help a content creator here on YouTube. I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll be back shortly with more positive, upbeat videos. Have a good one, everybody.